Hey there, sexy souls. Alrighty. Good morning. This is another round of coffee and tarot. I cannot tell you. I turned this around. I'm looking. Okay, sorry guys. Alright, so I come to my desk, right, and I'm getting it prepared and everything else like that. I'm doing my cleansings and I'm getting the decks ready and everything. And I noticed that this particular deck was sitting out like this. And I'm going, what the what? So I look at it. I'm not kidding you guys. I'm not kidding you. And, you know, whatever, if you think I'm lying. So it's sitting like this. I didn't even realize this. Ace of Fire. So the whole entire deck, and I pick it up and I'm thinking, well, maybe just this card is turned. And I'm like, no. And I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, the whole deck's over. Okay, let me turn it over. So, you know, I put it back in like this. Just now, as I started the video and I go to, I'm talking to you, I look over at my decks. I swear to you, when I flipped the deck over from this side to this wasn't facing out. It was all proper. I made sure. Why, when I sit down, this is the one that's flipped out? Like, okay, fucking okay. So we have on the bottom of the deck, Ace of Fire. That's the one that I saw sitting over, because I have these little like containers that the tarot decks sit in, so they're easy access. And so it was Ace of Fire, which is Ace of Wands, and then and when I look over, I'm like, what the like, I literally sat there for a second, like the whole deck was turned over again. I'm like, freaky, okay. And it was just the one. I'm like, look, you know what? Like when you intentionally put your deck in there correctly and you look to make sure they're all facing this thing, like you're like, what did I do? You know? And I'm like, I don't understand. And so this is facing out, so Ace of Water. So we're gonna assume I'm putting these over here. That's not an accident. Okay, I'm gonna put that there. We've got the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups, basically, is what that is. What I wanted to start out with is go ahead and get your drink of choice. Don't make fun of me, okay? This is like a combination. So I did this little concoction. My allergies have been acting up and giving me some like sneezing fits. And when I go through sneezing fits, it's like 7 to 10 sneezes. And I feel like I'm rattling my brain and all kinds of stuff. So I have a little concoction that I do, and I do it for my kids too. Whenever, you know, I get like ginger and lemon, but I put a little bit of apple, like pressed apple or apple cider, apple juice type of stuff. And then I do like a cinnamon and like, you know, just a couple of different things, several spices and everything like that. And some honey, right? And so I have like, this is apple cider, and I made it like I would apple cider, but I put the other stuff in it. So it's a little more, it's my concoction, guys. Okay. Just cause like, I feel like I need to be taken care of. So I'm taking care of myself right now. Anywho, so don't make fun of the weird drink that I've got, is basically what I'm saying. Go get whatever you want. I did have my coffee this morning, and there is something happening with my coffee where I don't know if like my body's like, we need to take a break, because it's like becoming too much when I drink it. It's a little, I don't know why I'm telling you all this. Maybe somebody else is going through this. I've noticed, I've talked to some of my peeps from the channel, and a lot of us are going through seeing things that are similar and or experiencing some stuff or something that I've gone through, they're going through now. And it's like, good Lord, this seems too spot on. It's weird. It's freaky, a little weird, but you know, that's what happens when you're in a collective like this, a soul family. So anywho, yeah, my body was like, ugh. And I was like, who goes, ugh? And maybe my body's just like, I'm ready for fall and all the good stuff, but whatever. This morning, it was just like, So we didn't even want to finish all of the coffee. And I was like epically sad because it was like iced coffee and it was really good and whatever. So I'm doing what my body says, okay? But it's still coffee and tarot, because you can get your coffee, all right? Or whatever beverage you like. Now, there's going to be a specific theme, okay, for this particular one, because the entire time that I'm walking around getting things ready, right? Like I'm getting my drink ready and I'm doing my cleansings and I have like this prayer that I say, and I like to multitask, you know, like I'm preparing this, doing a blessing over, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? So I'm doing my stuff, getting ready because I'm getting ready for the energy. And there's just like, kind of like prayer incantation that I do for my spirit team, and I set my boundaries and I have a conversation with my spirit team and things like that. We talk like we friends, okay? So sometimes I'm sitting right here when I'm doing it. Sometimes I'm getting ready for everything while I'm doing it. And so things start coming through. And it's like somebody saying this. Like I hear somebody's conversation with spirit, basically. Like they're saying something and I'm like, okay, well, that's the theme. So it was like little snippets of words that were coming through. One of them was, like, I just need to know right now. Like right now, what's going to happen? What's right now? And then it's like, I heard promise after promise after promise, you know, and like this idea that somebody doesn't want to promise. They just want to know what's going to happen. And I heard the week ahead, like just focus on now. And it was weird because I'm like, it would repeat, like the words that were said would repeat sometimes. And I'm like, the week ahead, the week ahead, the week ahead. And then like another saying or another phrase would come in. And I'm like, what the? And it all surrounded a theme of, I just need to know like the immediate what's happening. Like just tell it to me straight is the way it feels, right? Like I don't want fluff, I don't want promise. I just need to focus on the here and now, what's happening this week. So, you know, don't give me frou something. What's going on right now? Next 7 days. Just spill the beans. And so I feel like somebody's having a conversation like, you know what? I can't look at the far down the future or anything else like that. Like, let's get real. And it feels like there's a reason, like there's maybe something that's going on, where you're like, something that needs like an immediate action. So there's an immediacy to this. And so you're like, really just trying to figure out, okay, what am I looking at here right now? Type of situation. So we're going to set the theme or set the standard today for this coffee and tarot. And I know it's a little unconventional, but the next 7 days, like what is happening this week? And it's probably no coincidence that we have the Ace of Water or Ace of Cups, Ace of Fire, Ace of Wands, however you want to pose it. So I'm assuming that that's going to be a theme because that shone through really quick. In a very weird way that I went, what the, you know, when you realize you're not alone, even though I know that I'm never really alone, you're like, oh, that's freaky. That was freaky. The card thing was freaky. I was like, look, I made specifically sure that deck was like, because it wasn't. And then all of a sudden a card is turning. I'm like, looky here. Like, I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. Like, I like for my decks to be a certain way. I don't know. Like, it's just, and I'm like, okay. I know y'all have those moments. I know you do. You know, where you're like, you want confirmations and you want signs, but when they happen, you're like, what the fuck? Sorry. Surely you understand. All right, we're going, oh, okay. Haven't started out with this one for a while. It's Sun Night Tarot, or Night Sun Tarot, or whatever you want to call it. I always say it back. You know, I'm going to look. I feel like somebody wants to know. Night Sun Tarot. So yeah, here we go. Here you go, guys. If you want to know what deck this is, it's by Fabio Lestrani. Probably just butchered that name. That's not uncommon for me. But Night Sun Tarot. There you go. I don't see a lot of people with this particular deck, but it gives me some good stuff. I'm just going to tell you. So it has its own energy. All right, next 7 days, Spirit. Next 7 days. Why is my little seashell? Why is everything? Look at y'all. Come on. Come on. I have some, I am literally, hold on, guys. I am effing stuff up. And no, that's not what happened with the deck, because I literally went through it and made sure. Sorry, guys. Okay, we're going to take that one. So I guess some things... Oh, I almost flipped back in my chair. And I guess we're taking those two. There's nothing conventional about how this is happening today. So I'm going to say that if you have a set routine, if you have a certain way that things normally happen, it's just something very unconventional is going to happen, guys. Like, it's just going to unfold slightly unconventional. So we come out here with the Ace of Wands again. Ace of Fire is the Ace of Wands in this deck. Ace of Wands twice. This is like new project, new endeavor. They're saying new endeavor. A new endeavor, okay. And then we have the Devil. Okie dokie. What's happening this week, guys? Good God. Well, this is lovely. So we have the Devil, the Nine of Swords, and Death. Like, whatever this new endeavor is, I love saying it like that. This new endeavor, this new passion, this new spark that happens this week, it's wiping out. We've got the Death card, which is all about completely wiping your slate clean. You know, that's that Phoenix energy, the death and rebirth. So something is wiped clean. This is a brand new beginning, brand new slate. And it's wiping this entrapment that you've been in. Because between the Devil card and the Nine of Swords, it gives me the Eight of Swords energy, where it's like this self-imposed entrapment. Feeling mentally bound, like not being able to figure a way out, not being able to figure a way to move forward, not like really being able to come to some kind of conclusion, and feeling stuck because some type of okay, like they're giving me the sense of like an illusion, but it's more like buying into something, like something that's been predetermined by society. You're buying a little bit more into it than you're giving it more weight. You're giving it more credence than you should. Because obviously with the Devil card, it's like there's no real being chained up, so to speak, right? I'm sorry, but they're bringing a lot out in this imagery. Oh, wow. There are things in this card I have never seen. I'm going to have to put this at 18 and over. Okay, guys. Oh my God, I've never seen this. Okay, first and foremost, first off, they're talking about the mask. So it's like some type of illusion, something that's been a little bit hidden, or elusive is what they're saying. Okay, but that's what the illusion is. I don't know why they got specific terms today. This idea or concept or notion that seems a bit elusive to you. I mean, first off, they're showing me this egg up here. Oh, God, y'all probably can't really see the details. There's an egg. And obviously, she's bearing her chest. Her chest is out for, you know, the world to see. So there's a sense of, like, a bit of the truth being seen, but not everything in totality. They're also showing me right here, there are these spikes that cover the heart area. So there's some type of closed down, not being open and receptive, because a closed heart is really not being open and receptive. that is like the portal to the reciprocation that we seek, right? Something that we give out, that energy that we project out into the world, and then what we receive back from it, right? And so it's almost like spiked or guarded up. But they're also showing me this. There's two snakes. I'm going to try to get really close. There's two snakes, a snake here and a snake here. Now they're black. The thing I haven't ever seen, and I think that you might be able to see this in this, I'm going to stand up so I can tell if you can see this. Okay, guys, I want to be able to, yeah, you can see it. Holy shit. Okay. You see this thing? Has anybody ever noticed this? Like, let's get a little closer. What in the actual fuck? All right, Spirit. I mean, I'm hearing like some new endeavor is shrouded in trickery. Some new endeavor is shrouded in trickery. What is happening the next 7 days? Okay. The thing I have a problem with is that, you know, a lot of people interpret snakes to be deceptive and deceitful. Like there's a snake in the grass, like they slither their way in. It's almost like it goes unnoticed type of thing. Oh, that might be the thing. Like you're wrapped up in some type of illusion here, something illusory. When there's a new beginning that you may or may not be seeing because you're not open and receptive to it. Because snakes for me are life force. And then of course this phallic, which is the same as, oh, something's going to ignite your passions again. Some endeavor is going to actually and ignite your passions again. We've got, first off, no wonder the Ace of Cups is here. It's opening your heart to this. It's opening up to being receptive. It's opening to something that would really speak to you. Okay. And for whatever reason, whatever this new inspiration, this new fire that's being lit in you, this new endeavor for some people, is actually going to wipe clean this sense of illusion that you've had about something. Like you may have felt like you needed to be guarded, or that you were worried about something and it had you completely spent and exhausted in fear and anxiety. But I feel like some kind of mask is coming off in regards to this. All right, let's ground this into some practical stuff and figure out what they're talking about here. Okay, a new endeavor that creates some type of life force. So somebody's been bought into, there's a reason, whatever you've been bought into, this illusory thing, this thing that you've been feeling like, okay, they're giving me a scenario, guys. It's like somebody who says, you know, I need X, Y, and Z to proceed forward with this path, right? But all of their programming and everything that they see around them in their tangible world tells them they're not going to get X, Y, and Z. That they don't have the capacity to get that, or that they don't believe Spirit will give it to them. Oh, that goes back to the promise after promise after promise, probably. And so feeling like, yeah, right, it won't happen. There's no way for me to get whatever it is that I need to move forward. And so you're buying into, you're guarded against it. You don't believe it. You don't believe it. You don't believe something will happen for you. You don't believe in this new beginning. And so that's going to change. That's going to change, because that's really, you're just operating from past traumas or from past hurts, past programming, giving more weight to the human element of things, like, the human element, how do I put that? The ego's belief, the ego is saying that's not going to happen. Okay, next 7 days. We're focusing on right here, right now, next 7 days. So this is the energy for the next 7 days. Oh, Madame Mendora's fortune telling cards. Okay. look at how many stuck in my hand. I was like, okay. And I thought it was just one. Alrighty. So here's what it is. A barrier keeps you from your goal. Blah, blah, blah. Follow your intuition, love, and prosperity. To me, it feels like the barrier keeps you from your goal. So don't buy into your ego telling you that there's no way that this can happen, which is easier said than done when it sounds like to me you have put faith and then it didn't happen, put faith in and it didn't happen, put faith in and it didn't happen, put faith in and it didn't happen kind of thing. And it feels like somehow your ego's going, I fucking told you, I fucking told you, I fucking told you. Like, quit putting your faith in that. Let's take some normal, tangible actions. Like, you're just not open to that being a possibility. And somehow you're like, then I don't know what the fuck to do. And you have literally locked up your energies, your mental capacities. You're so in your fucking head that you're almost like guarded, like your heart's not open. Okay? And they're saying in this type of a situation, you have to believe the downloads, the information, the things that made you put hope into that being a possibility to begin with, even though promise after promise after, you know, like there had to have been something that came in that was like, okay, so this is the route that's going to happen, or this is what's needed and it is possible. You were believing in it for a period of time. And that to me is what the seer is. The seer is somebody who receives information, receives knowings without understanding how they know it, like without any type of tangible proof. And that's what your intuition is. It doesn't need a tangible proof. But it feels like you're just like, I have shit I've got to focus on right here and right now. I can't keep waiting for something to come in. Okay, I got it. Love and prosperity. I don't know why I looked at the bottom. I said like this and I went like this. And it's, you are safe from harm. Which is probably what you feel is coming. That's why the 9 of Swords is there. Because you're just like, I can't get to X, Y, and Z. Or I can't get to Z without X and Y. And you know, and it's just not, it's not happening. And so you're like, okay. And it feels like there's some kind of like something could go wrong without that. I'm going to ask more specifics. I want to know what this new endeavor is because I used that term specifically. New endeavor. This new, because I was thinking project, and they're like endeavor. And I'm like, what? But it's also like a new passion. So what do they mean by that? Like this thing that reignites you. Okay, first off, yeah, what's the new endeavor first? And then we'll look at what the more specifics on the barrier. I guess we're gonna fucking talk about the fucking barrier first. They got their own agenda. Things not turning out the way you hoped. Not seeing the positive in a situation. Okie dokie. So we already picked up on that. Come on, Spirit. Okay. All right, we've got a lot of court cards here going. So first and foremost, we have the King of Air, which would be like the very logical side that is so caught up in the mind. King of Air positively aspected, but given that it's right next to the Five of Water, I want to say it's not positively aspected. So there's not good discernment here because things are not clear in the mental realm. It's very, you know, like your mental and emotional considerations or energies are not in balance. And you don't have confidence in this situation. The Queen of Fire does not feel like a completely separate. I feel like these are aspects they're wanting you to move through. So this is where you're at, but they want you to get into the Queen of Fire, which is the Queen of Wands energy, which again is being open and receptive. We've already said this. So they're saying, you know, be open to the possibilities. Which sometimes I know y'all are like me. I'm like, look, Spirit, if it's not something I've experienced before, how do you expect me to dip into this idea of it being a possibility? Like, you know, give me, you know, that show me it's a possibility. Show me, Spirit. I am here for you to wow me. Like, go for it. I am in awe of what you can do. So show me. But it feels like in this scenario, whatever it is, you've asked and they've not. And you've asked and they've not. And you've asked and they've not. And you're like, okay, is this in my fucking head? Am I just making this shit up? Then we have the King of Fire, who has like precise focus on a desire, who generally has, and look at this. Look, okay, first off, okay, I didn't fucking pay attention to this shit. Queen of Fire, King of Fire. Something, okay, is opening up to something, having the self-confidence and willpower and determination for it internally, like stepping into your power and going after that shit, period, with unwavering determination. What is this fucking endeavor? All right, you know what is this fucking endeavor? Like, just I feel frustrated for you. I gotta be honest with you. Why are none of the decks talking to me? So I'm looking at like my Lenormand and my Kipper. They're like, not yet. At most, I could feel this one. The Storm and Tarot. What is this endeavor? What the fuck? Ace of Wands. Clarify the Ace of Wands for the next 7 days. Come on now. A new spark, a new whatever. Like it's going to get you going again. What is it? Like, what the fuck? I feel like in this kind of thing, you've asked for, like, that's what we established. You want specifics. Like, what is happening? Not free stuff. Not, you know, 10 months from now. Not, you know, like, just tell me what's happening this week. Just be real with me. Be upfront. This is like calling an Archangel Gabriel. Like, he's the blunt one. He's the one that can give you, he's the angel over communication. Well, it's something that's going to bring a lot of happiness to you. We've got Sacred Clown, which is the full card in this deck. And then we got the Nine of Cups. It is something that you desire and that you want. High Priestess. Page of Cups. Son of Cups. Tower. And the Six of Pentacles. Jesus, I swear to God. Okay, God. What the fuck? No, I feel frustrated for you guys. I gotta be honest with you. So this feels like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Something tells you to do something. The thing that would block you from doing it is the yeah, right. The ego is saying, no, whatever, don't go for that, or don't do that, or that shit won't happen, or it won't work out, or whatever it is. So to me, that's a bit of like an inspired action, right? Like some kind of Ace of Wands, some kind of like, you know, Ace of Wands, inspired action, some type of endeavor, some type of something that would like this idea, this notion, this spark, and then like being open to it, the Ace of Cups, something that actually has a lot of potentiality, that would speak to you. But so you kind of like almost hesitate to do it because you're just like promise after promise after promise, and you're just like, you may think that's a frou-frou pie in the sky kind of something, and so you just don't want to take action after it. So we got High Priestess with the Page of Cups. Page of Cups, generally speaking, in other decks, has a fish popping out of it. You know, it's some type of abundant offer, usually some type of a message. Follow your intuition. So if you, like, the High Priestess makes me think that you're going to kind of think, like, you're going to kind of, when we were talking about intuition earlier, it was like just a knowing, like something popped through and you're like, and it's what you have kind of had before. You're like, I don't know why I feel like this, but that's what I feel like. And so you kept having faith in it, and it just didn't come to fruition. It just didn't. And so now you're like, I want some tangible shit. Let's just get back to the 3D. You want to get very into your, you know, figuring it out, overanalyzation, you know, that kind of thing. And so this inspired action may not appeal to you at this moment because of that. And they're just like, something about when you get the inclination to do something or go after something or accept something. Because if this is an endeavor and it's almost like something's coming in, and that for me is like the Page of Cups is some kind of tangible offer, abundant potential offer, right? And your intuition is saying, okay. Your brain is still a little bit in the, I don't know. The Seven of Cups is not being sold. Because remember, back over here, the cards were talking about how your, like, the Knight of Swords is your emotions in your mental realm are not in balance. And so because you're so caught up in your mental space, you're not so quite sure if something is actually your ego talking or if it's your intuition. You're not in the most trusting of space when something comes through from your intuition. You actually think that's probably just from my mind and, you know, or my imagination, and it's a pie in the sky. So you may have a difficulty, which is probably why they're bringing this up, in believing this is a potential, but believing it is something good for you, because you might feel like, endeavor. I'm stuck on that word. They keep saying it over and over again. And basically what it is this is the help and assistance. This is going to balance things back out, because we got the top, where things have been so confusing emotionally because you've been so caught up mentally that you've not really been able to feel settled. Tower is, like, first off, it's usually, it means that it's meant to happen, and it's going to happen one way or the other. Like, this is like almost a destined turn of events. Like, it's, you know, and this is the piece where we talk about something being fated versus destined, and we're like, you know, a lot of times they're the same because you follow your hunches. So what's fated for you is your actual destiny, because that's the path that you've chosen, right? And so this feels a little bit like it's destined for you, but not yet fated. Like, you haven't made the choices or decisions to, you're going to have to allow this to come in, right? You can't dismiss it. You can't, you know, that kind of stuff. So that's where the needing to be open and receptive is. But it's coming one way or the other. So you're going to be presented with something, some type of an offer, some type of a message coming in. Somebody's going to propose something to you. So you may be at work and somebody approaches you at work and like, hey, what about this? You want to try this? And a part of you is just like, you know, you may dismiss it, or you may think that that's probably not going to work. And it's like, maybe be open to it. Maybe be open to whatever. You know, it doesn't have to be we had a reading one time, like the electronic message or something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be that way. So don't limit yourself, but maybe take into consideration the electronic message that was there before. So this may be something where it's like, yeah. So it comes into you and it's basically giving you the help and the assistance and balancing things out for you. So to me, the Six of Pentacles is all about when it's your time to receive, when it's your turn to balance the scales. You know, like you've been the person where like you're waiting and it didn't happen. You're waiting, it didn't happen. You're waiting. Well, now it's your turn is what they're saying. And it is going to come in. Now we're asking about this week. So I want to fucking know. I want to get it. Your mental entrapment may keep you confused on this. Like you may not even see how whatever this is gets you to where you want to be. That could be it. Because you just don't believe whatever you've believed for so long is going to actually pan out for you. So you're in a very swords energy, which is pulling you out of balance, creating maybe some emotional turmoil, chaos is what I want to say, chaos. So it's like be open and receptive to this. Don't be all like shut off to shit. Don't be too much up in your brain looking at all the ways that something can go wrong or the fact that something has gone wrong. Don't let your mind talk you out of it. When this endeavor, pops up, don't sit there and logicize the shit out of it. That's my own word. To the point where you convince yourself it's no go, right? Like it's not what you really want or it's not a possibility. Okay. This week, Spirit, what's happening this week? Can we get specific details? Some specific details. Expect a new path, a new way of doing something. Expect a new way of getting to your goal, of your desire, of your wish. Expect for a path to open up to your desire, your goal, your wish. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Something coming in. And message of concern, because here's the thing. This message of concern is you this is you being in disbelief. I feel like it is like not recognizing the potentiality of whatever this new endeavor is or this offer or this proposition because it's been so delayed. Because the message of concern is all about delays. What's going to be contained in this message? Yeah. Look, message of concern. You've been in lack mentality. Five of Cups. You've been in that shit. Wealthy man. Specifics for this week. Next 7 days. Next 7 days, Spirit. There's that lack mentality again. Next 7 days. What is this? Whew. Can't fucking make this up. Okay, guys. Here is the gist of what you need to know. So, I feel like this is the source of whatever new endeavor, which takes you from being in the lack to having a sudden upswing, like Wheel of Fortune, right? It's almost like, how do I put this? It is a 180 from the energy that you've been in. The delays, the things not coming in, the disbelief that something is going to change, right? Because you've almost gotten to the place where you just don't believe it. Like you're like the act of having faith is exhausting and has depleted you completely. See, we've got community is all about the support, the help, the assistance. That's that Six of Pentacles energy in regards to work. So this is definitely work related, your job. Like something is going to take you from being in this lack, drought energy and existence into something very positive, very beneficial, lucky, abundant, right? It's gonna change it. It's like a wheel of fortune. These are the stark contrasts on the wheel. And so it's going to bring about that change that you're seeking. And it's some type of help and assistance in regards to your career. So this new endeavor is going to help you in regards to work. Okay. All right. I don't want to like beat this to death or anything else like that. Just don't convince yourself that it won't. Don't get into the place where you convince yourself that it won't happen to the point where when it shows up, you're like, yeah, right. Or that won't get me where I need to go. Or that's not going to help me in any way. Like, I feel like there's such a pessimistic attitude at this point, and you're asking for, okay, what's going to happen? And they're saying, yes, something is going to be propositioned. And they're like, just don't be in a shutdown. It actually has good potentiality. And if you can't see it in this moment, how it gets you to your goal, they're telling you it's going to get you to your goal. It's going to get you on the path to your goal. To what it is that you have been hoping for and waiting for and wanting. Okay? So just don't be shut off to it. All right. I hope you have a fantastic and wonderful day. That is your next 7 days.